for the top. Enemies in the act tryna swap. Payback, many heads getting chopped. I don't play, but it can't be a lot. On the wrist, I just put 12 rocks. All the days I used to struggle, I forgot. Just the belly and the food in the pot. Now I'm on a private island on a yacht. Run the scene and we doing big things. Spaceship when I pull up big tank. All hell when I pull up on the scene. All dogs bow down to the king. Motherland, hometown. Saints coming back, yeah, we homebound. Motherland, hometown. Full speed down when it's slowing down. Pull up, lit, flex, make 'em sick. Rocks, drip. Show my lady we get. Kill 'em, kill 'em. Show my lady we get. Kill 'em, kill 'em. Show my lady we get. Pull up, lit, flex, make 'em sick. Rocks, drip. Show my lady we get. Kill 'em, kill 'em. Show my lady we get. Kill 'em, kill 'em. Show my lady we get. Hey, hey, yeah, hey, dream team be rowdy. My team do a blitz every county.
Mic check. Hey, shalom, shalom. So Officer Jez with another History in the AM, all right? History in the AM. Hey, sorry for the technical difficulties that we had. So we're going to jump right into it. So the title is Origins of New Year's and Famines to Come. So origin of New Year's and famines to come. So I'm gonna do the origins of New Year's first, and then I'm gonna transition into famines to come, because everybody thinks it's a new year, but it's not. Okay, still can't figure out why we celebrating the New Year's in the dead of winter. Don't make sense. But we're gonna find out where that came from. So first, get me hey, I can't see up here. What? Oh, yeah, I ain't even. It's early. I know it's early. We 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Let's get these TVs on real quick. So yesterday, our people celebrated, in other nations, celebrated what is so-called New Year's, right? All right, so that's when they go. You watch Times Square. We all did it in the world when we was in the world. Watch Times Square, watch the ball drop, and fireworks, and it's cold as hell outside. I mean, it's cold, right? So common sense would tell us that, yo, this can't be the new year. The trees, there's no leaves on the trees. Everything is dead. Snow outside. You understand? So where do we get that from? Nature itself would tell you. We're going to get into it. Yeah, pull up Janice real quick, the Wikipedia. I'm not going to be long today. So, no. Give me the other one. Give me New Year's Day first. Yeah, then we get that. Go all the way up to the, yep. Go down. You can start right here. So we're gonna read a little bit. You good? You can see?
Yes, sir.
All right.
In pre-Christian Rome, under the Julian calendar, the day was dedicated to Janus.
So New Year's Day is dedicated to a god named Janus. I'm going to say it again. New Year's Day is dedicated to a god named Janus. This is idolatry, right? Go ahead.
God of getaways and...
No, wait.
gateways, sorry.
You good? Are you good? The God of getaways. The God of robberies. Robberies and getaways. All right, come on.
God of gateways and beginnings.
All right. Read it from the top. Read it from the top again.
In pre-Christian Rome, under the Julian calendar,
Under the Julian calendar, go ahead.
the day was dedicated to Janus.
The day was dedicated to Janus. Janus, remember Janus. Go ahead.
God of gateways and beginnings.
The God of gateways and beginnings. So, Deacon briefly touched on this during the New Year's Escape class. So he briefly touched on it. All right, go ahead. So Janus is a God of gateways and beginnings. Read on.
For whom January is also named.
So that's where you get January from. January comes from Janus. Go ahead.
From Roman times until the mid-18th century, the New Year was celebrated at various stages and in various parts of Christian Europe on 25th December.
Oh, snap. So wait. They celebrate the New Year on the 25th of December. Has nothing to do with Christ. Has nothing to do with Christ. So they celebrated the God of Janus on December 25th. Go ahead.
On 1st March.
On March 1st. Go ahead.
On 25th March. And on the movable feast of Easter.
Right. So that's before, this is before they put January in there, right? Before they say, look, let's just give our God the name January, right? Let's incorporate him in the months. Go ahead.
In the present day, with most countries now using the Gregorian calendar as their civil calendar, 1st January, according to the Gregorian calendar, is among the most celebrated of public holidays in the world. Often observed with fireworks at the stroke of midnight.
Yep. So it's observed with fireworks at midnight. This is what our people doing. That's why they drive to Times Square. They want to go see the ball drop. This happens at midnight, right? Go ahead.
At the stroke of midnight following New Year's Eve. As the New Year starts in each time zone.
As it starts in what?
In each time zone.
As the New Year starts in each time zone. Give me that in Daniel 7:25. Daniel 7:25. As the New Year starts in each time zone. So every time zone has a new year. Have a different time that is going to start. So, because why? Say midnight, right? In the Eastern Standard Time, right? Say midnight, 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Are y'all able to put me back on the screen? You know that little screen box? So they can. Right. So look, 12 a.m., right? Eastern Standard Time. It starts. Now, I want y'all to understand something. Each time zone is an hour apart from the next time. So Eastern, are you able to pull up the time zones real quick? I just want to put the visual up there. I just want to put the visual. How crazy this thing is. Yep. I just want to show a visual of the time zones. Yep. Understand something. Each time zone is an hour apart from the next time zone. Yep, this is perfect. All right. So look at the different time zones, right? So we have Eastern, that's us. Then you got Central. Then you have the Mountain Time Zone. You have Pacific Time Zone. Now, what time zone they don't show on here is the Atlantic Time Zone, which is the Atlantic. The water's got a time zone. The water's got a time zone, but they never show that, right? So we are Eastern, right? So say the so-called New Year's, right? The ball dropped at 12 a.m. on Eastern. They gotta wait an hour. So Central gotta wait an hour for their so-called New Year to kick in, right? Then the Mountain Time Zone, they gotta wait 2 hours for their New Year to kick in, so-called New Year to kick in, right? Then Pacific gotta wait 3 hours. It don't make sense. So if the ball drops at 12, Central got to wait an hour. Mountain got to wait 2 hours. And Pacific got to wait 3 hours for it to be the so-called New Year, right? According to the time. According to the time. All right? So just to show you how crazy this thing is, give me Daniel 7:25.
Daniel chapter 7 and verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High.
So this is talking about Esau. He shall speak great words against the Most High. What great words did he speak? The blasphemy of him calling himself what? God. Right? Give me 2 Thessalonians. Hold that, get 2 Thessalonians. He shall speak great words. Blasphemous words against God. 2 Thessalonians 2.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 4. Who opposes and exalteth himself above all that is called God.
So how do Esau oppose and exalt himself above everything that is called God? With science. He opposed himself with science. Okay? God said, in the beginning, the Lord created the heaven and the earth. Esau said, no. There was a big bang. Right? So the Lord, like, for example, the Lord says, we're going to get into this, but the Lord said that the new year starts in the month of Abib. Esau said, no. Our God Janus said it starts in the dead of winter. He opposes everything that God has set up. He opposes, that's his nature. Science. Go ahead.
Or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
Like, for example, like the leadership brought out with the escape, right? When Deacon was going over about the chariots. And remember, what's his name? Tucker Carlson, what he said. He said 1945. He said every nation before 1945 understood that they were angels. Right? Then come 1945, once they dropped that bomb, they said, nope, there's no more angels no more. They're called aliens, and we're God. 1945, that's when that went down. And from 1945 on up, everybody thinks that Esau is a God. Read that again.
Who opposes and exalteth himself above all that is called God.
And exalted himself above all that is called God. He even claimed the galaxy. He said, yo, this is our galaxy. He said, this is our galaxy. So those beings are coming into our galaxy. This is our moon. They went on 1969. They put the flag on the moon. And claimed the moon. How you claim the moon? They claimed the moon. 1969. Read.
Or that is worship.
So, and they set themselves up. They painted their images. So now you see only the white image of Christ. You see white images of the angels. White images of the prophets, which is called iconoclasm. These are the things that they do. They oppose and exalt themselves above everything that is called God. Read.
So that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God.
So he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself, read.
Showing himself that he is God.
Showing himself that he is God. That's why millions of our people, give me Revelations. Give me Revelations. No, read on.
Remember ye not that when I was yet with you.
Jump to verse 8. Verse 8.
Verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
And then shall that wicked be revealed.
And then shall that wicked be revealed, which is Esau. You see that? That's a capital W. That's a capital W. So, Sean, read it again.
And then.
No, read 7. Start at 6. Sorry.
Verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
And now ye know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time.
So the Lord is the one that's holding him back so that he'll be. The Lord is letting him do his thing so that he could be revealed in his time. Esau has a set time to rule. Read that part again.
And now ye know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time.
So the Lord is letting him reign in his time. Esau has a set time to reign and to deceive the world. Go ahead.
For the mystery of iniquity doth already work.
The mystery of iniquity at this time was Rome. Rome was already, because Rome is Esau. That's Rome. Rome, it was Esau ruling. Remember, it started with the Greeks, but then this is the Roman Empire now. They're ruling. So read that again.
For the mystery of iniquity doth already work.
So the mystery of sin, iniquity of sin, is already at work. Paul is saying, look, we in the midst of it now. It's going down right now. This man is ruling. He's already working sin. Go ahead.
Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way.
So read 7 again. No, read 7 again.
For the mystery of iniquity doth already work.
Read.
Only he who now letteth.
Stop. That's the Lord. Only he, the Lord, who now letteth Esau, go ahead, the Roman Empire, rule.
Will let
him rule. And remember, in his time, read.
Until he be taken out of the way.
Until he be taken out of the way. Till he's destroyed. All right, so that's what leadership was bringing out the New Year's escape. Right? Until he's destroyed, taken out of the way. Read.
And then shall that wicked be revealed.
And then shall that wicked be revealed. Go ahead.
Whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
That's us. That's us. The Lord is sending forth his prophets to reveal Esau. That's what we're doing. The Lord is sending forth his prophets to reveal who Esau really is. Because go back to verse 4.
Verse 4. Who opposeth.
Why must Esau be revealed? Remember, he said he's the mystery of iniquity. He's the mystery of sin. Remember in Revelation, mystery, Babylon the Great. It's a mystery. You tell our people that the white man is the damn devil. They like, what? He just gave me a new leg. He cured my diabetes. He gave me medicine for my blood pressure, and it went down. You telling me that, man? No, that's my God. I still can't figure out how we got right amongst all the in your photo album, all those black pictures, and Esau is the first one in the album. Esau, amongst all those pictures on the wall, Esau is right there in the middle. He's in the middle. Remember on Good Times. On Good Times, she said, "Nope, she said, I am not taking that down. He's the only God. That's the only Jesus I know. I am not removing him off the wall."
It's an evil world we live in.
It's an evil world. Read that again. Read 4 again.
Verse 4. Mm-hmm. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worship, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
Showing himself that he is God. Hey, bring up that white image, 1945. Bishop always pull it up. Yeah, Caesar Boat. Yeah. So, you have the Wikipedia on this? The head of Christ, yep. The head of Christ. Real quick. Yeah, yep. Hold on. Go down. Origins. I just want to get to the point. Yep, right here. Yeah, go ahead.
The Baptist.
Go up first. Go up to the beginning. Yeah, just read that and then jump down. I'll tell you when. Go ahead.
The head of Christ, also called the Salmon Head, is a 1940 portrait painting of Jesus of Nazareth by Warner Salmon as an extraordinarily successful work of Christian popular devotional art.
Damn, they say that's an extraordinarily successful work of Christian popular devotional art. Go ahead.
It had been reproduced over 500 million times.
Why? Because everybody worshiping. So they like, damn, everybody love this. Everybody worshiping this joint. So let's keep producing it. Reproduced over 500 million times. Read.
Worldwide.
You see that? Worldwide. So that thing is all over the world. We're going to show you that. Go ahead.
By the end of the 20th century,
Read.
enlarged copies of the work have been made for churches
Churches wanted it enlarged so they can put it up in behind the pulpit. Go ahead.
and small pocket or wallet-sized prayer cards bearing the image have been mass-produced for private devotional use.
Because why? Our people is bowing down to that thing. In the churches, you personal use, you got it on your car dashboard. You have it, you can just take it out and kiss it. And, may the Lord protect me. Go ahead.
The painting is said to have become the basis for the visualization of Jesus.
The image of the beast. That's what it is, the image of the beast. And read that again. Read it again. The paint is what?
The painting is said to have become the basis for the visualization of Jesus.
For the visualization of Jesus.
For hundreds of millions of people.
Damn. For hundreds and millions of people, they say, yo, when you see that picture, you like, yo, that's Christ. Without even second guessing yourself, you're like, nope, that's Christ. Somebody can flash it real quick. Like, who you think that is? They be like, oh, that's Christ. It just subconsciously in our mind, because we've seen it. It's been reproduced over 500 million times worldwide. When? When did it start? Go down. Go down. Right there, yep.
The Baptist bookstore initially popularized the painting, distributing various size
Lithographic.
lithographic
Lithographic. Go ahead.
lithographic images for sale throughout the southern United States. The Salvation Army and the YMCA, as members of the USO, handed out pocket-sized versions of the painting to America's servicemen heading overseas during World War II.
What? Read that again.
World War II.
World War II. A man said World II. World War II. Right. So the image of the beast was being reproduced that 1 billion times during World War II, 1945. Remember, they proclaimed themselves as God. Okay, once they dropped that atom bomb, they said, no, now we're God. All right, so then they started producing these images of the white image of Christ. And like you said, this is everybody's worshiping this image. Right? Now, give me Revelations real quick. 13 and verse 8. You start verse 7.
Yes, sir. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 7. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds
Read.
and tongues and nations. And all that dwell upon the earth
And
shall
all that dwell upon the earth, go ahead,
shall worship him.
shall do what?
Shall worship him.
Shall worship him. Shall worship him. Caesar Borgia. Read.
Whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world.
Right. Jump down to verse 13.
Verse 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men.
1945. This happened in 1945, and they dropped the atom bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan. 1945. He doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven. Go ahead.
On the earth in the sight of men. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth.
And by those miracles, by those wonders, by his science, he did what?
And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth.
Read.
By the means of those miracles.
So they call that miracles. If you've seen the movie Oppenheimer, he called that, when they dropped that bomb, he called it a miracle. It was the performance of a miracle. Go ahead.
By the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast.
Read.
Saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast.
Yo, that they should make a image to the beast. Put the other image back up. That they should make a image to the beast. Read.
Which had the
1945, they dropped the bomb. Yo, let's make this image. Let's reproduce this image worldwide. Everybody started worshiping. They say, yo, they're God. Read.
which had the wound by a sword and did live.
Right, because remember, America is an extension of Rome. America is an extension of ancient Rome. All right, so now let's go back to 2 Thessalonians, then we get back Daniel 7:25. Yes. No. Yeah, go ahead, read forward. Read on down.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God,
Read.
or that is worship,
Mm-hmm.
so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
Right, so this image, okay, these images is all across the churches, right? The same image all across the churches. You even have in Brazil. In Brazil, they got that image. They got that big behind statue of Caesar Bowl right there in Brazil. That's in Brazil. That's in Brazil right there. Read it again.
Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God,
Mm-hmm.
or that is worship, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
Showing himself that he is God. Now jump down to 7.
Verse 7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let,
Right, the Lord, go ahead.
until he be taken out of the way.
Until he be destroyed. Armageddon, read.
And then shall that wicked be revealed,
Mm-hmm.
whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth,
With the Bible. Go ahead.
and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming,
Read.
even him whose coming is after the working of Satan,
Whose coming is after the working of Satan. Go ahead.
with all power and signs and lying wonders.
So we just read about those signs and those lying wonders, those miracles, the atom bomb, fire coming down from heaven, 1945. All right. The airplane. Okay. They went to space travel when they went on the moon and they declare the moon for themselves. Okay. Elon Musk right now, they planning to go to Mars. If you need a new leg, he can get you a new leg. Your arm came off. He can put a new arm back on for you. Even you want to change your sex. You say, man, I'm tired of being a boy. You could go become a woman. He'll make you a woman. You want to change, you say, look, I'm tired of being a woman. I want to be a man. He would make you a man. He would make you a man. You tired of the way your body look. You ain't even got to work out no more. If you overweight and so forth, and you like, look, I don't feel like working out, and you want to take the easy way out, you go see your God. That's why you go to the doctor, and they give you what's this thing they got? Ozempic. It's called Ozempic now. They got this thing called Ozempic, where you take that drink. It make your stomach smaller or something. No, it makes food taste nasty. It makes the food taste nasty and disgusting, so you eat less. Or you get what they call a tummy tuck. You get a tummy, you just take it right on out. Butt injections. Listen, read it again.
Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders.
That's my Jesus. That's my Jesus. That white man, look, he can't do no wrong. Can't do no wrong. All right, so from there. Read on.
And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish.
With all deceivableness of unrighteousness, of sin, read.
And them that perish,
And them that perish, read on,
because they receive not the love of the truth,
because they receive not the love of keeping God's laws, read,
that they might be saved.
that they could be delivered, that they could be saved out of this captivity. All right, so let's go back to Daniel 7:25. Daniel 7:25. No, we took a little long route right there. Go ahead, read that.
Daniel chapter 7 and verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High,
Read.
and shall wear out the saints of the Most High,
He wore us out in slavery. Go ahead.
and think to change times and laws.
And read that again.
And think to change times and laws.
He thought to change times and laws. He can't do it, but he thought to do it. He tried to do it. Read it again.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High,
Read.
and think to change times and laws.
So he thought to change times and laws. That goes back to your time zones. You got different time zones, confusing people all over the place. Soon as you cross, you could be right next to. Go back. And zoom in. Go back. Let me show you how crazy this thing is. Listen, you see how close Indiana is to Illinois? Blow that up. Right. So you see how close Indiana is to Illinois. Now Chicago's right at the end, like the border between Indiana and Illinois. No. Yeah. Right. Soon as you from over there, right? Right. He from over there. That's why he like, yeah, you better get it right. All right. So look, so you can back me up on this. Once you cross from Indiana, once you cross that border, you're in a different time zone. That don't make no sense. The time changes on you. You confused. You're like, what? I want to show you something else. Go, give me look up international. Look up the international time zone, bro. Watch this. International time zone. I'm going to show you how crazy Esau is. I'm going to show you something. So those of you that, if you have a globe at home, you will see on the globe it says international time zone in the waters between Russia and Alaska. Just go to Wikipedia. International time zone between Russia and Alaska. Just look up international time zone. International. I'm gonna show you how crazy this thing is. Come on. International time zone. Wikipedia. Yeah. Yep. It might say something else. Let me see. Go down. Go all the way down. Just go all the way down. Where you at? Time zones of the world. Time zones of the world. Are you able to go over between Alaska and Russia? Are you able to move it over? No? Man, I need this drink. Let me see. Hold on. 1 second. International. Yeah. Dateline. That's what it is. I think it's Dateline. Yeah. Watch this right. Yep. Read that.
The International Dateline, IDL, is the line extending between the South and North Poles. That is the boundary between one calendar day and the next.
Read that again. This is how crazy Esau is.
The International Dateline.
Go ahead.
Is the line extending between the South and North Poles. That is the boundary between one calendar day and the next. It passes.
Yo, listen, they thought to change time across the world, the earth. Go down. Go. Hey, wait, go back up. I seen the Edomite. Go. Oh, let me see the 40. Nah. Go up. Go down. Come on. Let me see. Go down. All right, so they didn't have a picture. I will have to take a picture. But go back up. Read that again. So read that part again and then blow that map up. I want that. Go ahead. Read that again.
The international date line is the line extending between the South and North Poles. That is the boundary between one calendar day and the next.
So it's not only just time, it's the days too. So it's the boundary between one calendar day and the next. So blow this international date line, blow that picture up real quick, that map. Are you able to do it? Blow that up. See how crazy they are, man. Blow that all the way up. Right. So now look at this. This is the boundary right here between Alaska and Russia. So if you take a boat, if you take a plane to get from Russia, you see how close they are between Russia and Alaska, right? If you take a plane from Alaska to Russia, and if it was Sunday in the U.S. and Alaska, once you cross over, you in Monday. You see that? So you cross for one day. It's like you teleported into another. Like, oh, I'm in Monday already. No, it's just Esau. They read it again. Daniel 7:25. You can take that down and go back to the. Go ahead.
Daniel chapter 7 verse 25.
Read.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws.
And think to change time. Think to change time. All right? And laws. All right? The Lord said no homosexuals. Right? Esau said yes. Remember, they oppose of the Most High. Whatever he says, they go against it. Esau said yes. Pass laws for same-sex marriages. Okay? They think to change times and laws. All right? So, go back to the Wikipedia on New Year's real quick. Go to the history. Let's go.
The ancient Babylonian calendar was lunar solar, and around the year 2000 BC, began observing a spring festival and the new year during the month of Nisan, around the time of the March equinox.
That's correct. It was around it. Yeah, that's correct. Right, go ahead.
The early Roman calendar designated 1st March as the first day of the year.
But only thing is, they designated March the 1st as the first day of the year. Go ahead.
The calendar had just 10 months.
So it had 10 months. Right? This is the original calendar. Go ahead.
Beginning with March. That the new year once began with the month of March is still reflected in some of the names of the months.
Right. Listen, read that part again.
The calendar had just 10 months beginning with March.
Right.
That the new year.
So stop. He says that the new year
once began with the month of March.
So that the new year once began with the month of March. Read on.
Is still reflected in some of the names of the months.
You can still look at the names of the month today and understand that, the new year must have began in March. Just by looking at the names of the months. And Deacon just brought that out. Just by looking at the names of the months, you can understand if you can, it's common sense. Like, hold on. September. But our people don't read. We don't read. We don't care. We go with the majority. We listen to the white man. He said, even though September, read on, watch this.
September through to December, the 9th through to the 12th months of the Gregorian calendar were originally positioned as the 7th through to the 10th months.
How you know that? Read.
Septem is Latin for seven.
Read.
Octo,
Uh-huh.
8,
It means 8. Go ahead.
Novem, 9,
Uh-huh.
and Decem, 10.
If you ain't know no better, you will understand through just looking at the name of the month. Like, yo, September means if you got a education, okay. I don't know about Philly, but if you got an education, you understand. Look at the month of September and say, yo, that means 7. You know that 8 means octo, right? You know that Nova means 9, and decalogue, decade, decimal, that means 10. You understand these things just by looking at the name of the month. Read. But
Well,
remember, Esau done put that, they done overshadow, everybody worship Esau. Whatever I say goes. Go ahead.
Roman
Whatever
mythology.
he said goes. Go ahead.
Roman mythology usually credits their second king Numa with the establishment of the 2 new months of Lunaris and Februaris.
Go ahead.
These were first placed at
Right,
the
so Iuarius and Fabrarius, okay, they were the 2 new months. Go ahead.
These were first placed at the end of the year,
So they first placed it at the end of December. Go ahead.
but at some point came to be considered the first 2 months instead.
Why? Because you celebrating a god. So they said, no, we can't have our god at the end of the months. Let's put him in the beginning. Go ahead. That's it. Let me see. Go ahead. Go down. Read this. New Year's Day in the older Julian calendar. Read that.
The
The
Julian
Julian calendar come from Julius Caesar. Go ahead.
The Julian calendar, proposed by Julius Caesar
It was proposed by Julius Caesar. Go ahead.
in 46 BC, was a reform of the Roman calendar. It took effect on 1st January 45 BC by edict. The calendar became the predominant calendar in the Roman Empire, and subsequently most of the Western world for more than 1,600 years. The Roman calendar began the year on 1st January.
Right. You can take that down. Now, go to the next article. Not next article, Wikipedia. The next one on Janus. Let's go back to the law. Give me Exodus 20 and verse 3.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Read it again.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Read it again.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
The Lord said, you shall have no other gods before me. Read.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth.
Read.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them,
Shall not worship them. Read.
nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God,
Read.
visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me.
Right. So we are not that. That is called idolatry. That's idolatry. America is built upon idolatry. Everything you look at in America is idolatry. Everything. You can't escape it. You can't. Everything you look at is idolatry. But the Lord said not to have any other gods before him. That's why we in our condition right now. And our people still wholeheartedly running to at midnight to go celebrate a so-called New Year. Okay? Now, give me the next one. Janus. Read that.
In ancient Roman religion and myth, Janus is the god of beginnings, gates, transitions, time, duality, doorways, passages, frames, and endings.
Right. So the god of beginning and endings. All right. So go ahead.
He is usually depicted as having 2 faces.
So that's him right there on the side. He's depicted as having 2 faces. All right. One looking at the ending and one facing the beginning. So one facing the ending of things and one facing the beginning. Go ahead.
The month of January is named for Janus.
The month of January is what?
The month of January is named for Janus.
So the month of January is named for him. It's named for that particular god. That's what you're celebrating. You're in the midst of idolatry. Go ahead.
According to ancient Roman farmers' almanacs, Juno was mistaken as the tutelary deity of the month of January. But Juno is the tutelary deity of the month of June.
Read.
Janus presided over the beginning and ending of conflict, and hence war and peace.
Read.
The gates of a building in Rome named after him, not a temple as it is often called.
Hey, do me a favor. Look up New Year's resolution. New Year's resolution. Remember, Janus is the god of beginning and ending. Look up New Year's resolution. Is there Wikipedia on that? Yeah, let me see that. Real quick. Telling you, listen, Babylon is built upon idolatry. It's an extension of ancient Rome. Yeah, you could just look. Yeah, where does New Year's resolution come from? New Year's resolution. Yeah, right there. Why you clicking? Hold on, let me see. Hey, blow that up. Oh, there we go. Come on.
A New Year's resolution is a tradition most common in
It's a what?
Is a tradition.
Give me Colossians. No, read on. Then we get Colossians 20. Go ahead.
Most common in the Western world.
It's most common in the Western world. Babylon, America, read.
But also found in the Eastern world.
But it's also found in the East, all over the world. Go ahead.
In which a person resolves to continue good practices, change an undesired trait or behavior.
So, a New Year's resolution is in which a person resolves to continue good practices, but or change an undesired trait or behavior, read.
Accomplish a personal goal.
Or accomplish a personal goal, read.
Or otherwise improve their behavior at the beginning of a calendar year.
You see that? Listen, your New Year's resolution go back to Janus. Where is it where it said you make a vow? I seen that somewhere. Oh, read, go down. Go down. Hey, type in vow up in the, I just seen that. Go out. I seen that somewhere where you make a vow. Go out of that right there. Yeah, blow that up. Yes, you see where it says New Year's. Read that.
A New Year's resolution. A vow.
A what?
A vow. That one makes on New Year's Eve.
Go ahead.
Or New Year's Day for the coming year.
To Janus. That's what you're doing. Now go back to Janus. That's what you're doing. You making a vow to Janus like, yo, I'm going to be better this year. My New Year's resolution is that I'm going to lose weight. My New Year's resolution is that I'm going to stop eating. My New Year's stop eating crazy. My New Year's resolution is that I'm going to be a better person. I'm going to get more money. I'm going to be I don't know, get a better job. You making these vows to the god Janus. Go ahead. Go back up to the, yes.
Janus presided over the beginning and ending of conflict, and hence war and peace. The gates of a building in Rome named after him, not a temple as it is often called.
Go back up to in ancient Roman religion and myth. Read that part again.
In ancient Roman religion and myth,
Mm-hmm.
Janus is the god of beginnings, gates, transitions, time, duality, doorways, passages, frames, and endings.
Right. So you ever hear, oh, I'm closing one door and opening another. That's Janus. I'm closing one door and I'm opening another door for new beginnings. Yeah, these things come from this God. Listen, we are carrying the traditions of Esau. This is their holiday. This has nothing to do with us. Give me Colossians 2:8.
Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8.
Read.
Beware, lest any man spoil you.
Let's beware. Paul is saying, beware, lest what?
Any man spoil you
Destroy you. Read.
through philosophy
Through philosophy, religions. Go ahead.
and vain deceit.
And vain deceit. Read. Lies. Go ahead.
After the
Vain opinions and lies. Go ahead.
after the tradition.
After what?
After the tradition.
After the traditions. Holidays are traditions. If it ain't in the Bible, it's a tradition. That's what you keep it. It's idolatry. Go ahead. If the Lord ain't say do it, it's idolatry. Read.
After the tradition of men.
Uh-huh.
After the rudiments of the world.
Mhm.
And not after Christ.
Because it's not after Christ. Has nothing to do with the Lord. Right? So read it from the top again.
Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
Right. Lies. Go ahead.
After the
New
traditions.
Year's is a lie. Our people are being destroyed thinking that the New Year's is beginning of dead of winter. We getting destroyed. Making New Year's resolutions to the God Janus is all idolatry. Read on.
After the traditions of men.
After the traditions of men. Okay, the God Janus comes from a man. Esau made that up. Come from the Roman Empire. Read.
After the rudiments of the world.
Uh-huh.
And not after Christ.
Right, and not after Christ. Right, not after Christ. Now, from there, give me that page, History of the Jewish Nation, from the book History of the Jewish Nation. You give me page 11. All right, so this is a book, History of the Jewish Nation, 1954. Good book, good book. Watch this. Yep, you can start here. Go ahead.
For that purpose, he converted
Start at and now began.
and now began an unprecedented persecution.
Mm-hmm.
For the Syrian king had resolved on nothing short of an extinction.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Oh, or you just can't? What's going on? Read it, man.
Extinction of Jewish faith.
Read it from the top again. I don't know
Yes,
what
sir.
happened. You
Sorry,
hit
yes,
the
sir.
brain fart or something. Go ahead.
And now began an unprecedented persecution.
Uh-huh.
For the Syrian king had resolved on nothing short of an extinction of extinction of the Jewish faith.
Right. So it's talking about Antiochus, right? He had resolved to just persecute us and extinct us out of our land, right? Go ahead.
For that purpose, he converted the temple at Jerusalem into one dedicated to Jupiter Olympus.
Or Zeus or Tammuz, right? Jupiter Olympius, all right? So this is 2 Maccabees. This is 2 Maccabees 6. You can read this 2 Maccabees 6. Go ahead.
A small heathen altar was reared on the great altar of burnt offerings.
To their god, Jupiter Olympus, or Zeus, or Tammuz. Go ahead.
And on the 25th, Shilev, December.
Kislev. Which is what? What month?
December
25th. An altar from Antiochus was erected in our temple to who? Jupiter Olympius, to Zeus or Tammuz on December 25th. Has nothing to do with Christ. Go ahead.
The first sacrifice was offered upon it.
So they defiled our temple to offer sacrifices to Jupiter Olympius or Zeus also known as Tammuz, on December 25th. That was to their God on December 25th, not ours. Read it again. Read it again.
For that purpose, he converted the temple at Jerusalem into one dedicated to Jupiter Olympus. A small heathen altar was reared on the great altar of burnt offering.
Right, and that's in our temple. Read.
And on the 25th, Kislev, December, the first sacrifice was offered upon it.
The first sacrifice was offered upon it. All right, next page. Next page. Start at the bottom. It's 299. You start at the first verses. Right. Yep. You start there.
The first verses of the first psalm were held to apply equally to the amusements of the theater or amphitheater, to frequenting the ring, and to witnessing the performances of jugglers. It was well known that such indulgences would operate detrimentally upon the piety and morality of the people.
Read on.
Under the rule of the Herodians, theaters and amphitheaters were indeed reared in various cities of Palestine, in imitation and in horror of the Romans, honor of the Romans.
Go ahead.
But as the games there celebrated were essentially foreign, they were discountenanced and even indirected by the rabbis.
No, man. Indicted
By the rabbinins.
No, interdicted by the rabbins. Interdicted by the rabbins. Even
by the
interdicted
rabbins.
by the rabbins. Look up that interdicted by the rabbins. What'd you say? What'd you call it first? Yeah, you said indirected. You seen something else this morning. Go ahead, read that.
Interdict. Prohibit or forbid something.
Right. So it was forbidden. So it's saying it's forbidden by us. Go ahead. You go back up. Hey, hit the how you pronounce it.
Interdict.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead. Not indirect. Yes, sir. That's my brother. Go ahead. Read on.
But as the games there celebrated were essentially foreign, they were discountenanced and even interdicted by the rabbinins.
Right. It was forbidden. Go ahead.
With equal zeal did the rabbinins warn against all contamination with idolatry.
The rabbins is our leaders. All right. The rabbins is our leaders. Read on.
Anything that could directly or
So hold on. It says, with equal zeal did the rabbins warn against all contamination with idolatry. Read.
Anything that could directly or indirectly be connected with idolatry.
So hold on. Anything that could directly or indirectly be connected with idolatry. Go ahead.
Such as heathen ornaments.
That's your Christmas tree. Heathen ornaments. Go ahead.
Etc. might not be lawfully used by a Hebrew who was in no way to compromise himself with countenancing anti-Jewish practices.
Read.
To throw down a stone in honor of Mercury.
So to throw down a stone in honor of Mercury. Go ahead.
Or to touch those which had been so thrown down, to enter into business relations with heathens 3 days before or after their feast.
So, or to enter relations with any of the other nations 3 days before or after the feast. Go ahead.
To make purchases in shops decorated with garlands in honor of idols.
Read.
Even to celebrate.
Hold on. Read it slow.
Even
to what?
To celebrate the 1st of January, the new year.
Read.
Or any other calend's
first of the month. We only celebrated our first of the month, which was the month. I'm gonna get into that. The month of Abib. We didn't deal with the other nations' first of the month, which was January, their new year. Read.
The Saturnalia,
which is their Christmas. Go ahead.
The birth or the coronation day of a heathen emperor
Because they celebrated their birthdays. Read.
was strictly interdicted.
Meaning forbidding. We didn't do that because it was idolatry. It was forbidden. Because the Lord forbid us to do those things. So it says, even to celebrate the 1st of January, the new year, or any of the calendars 1st of the month. So any other calendars 1st of the month, we didn't deal with that. Babylon, whatever, we didn't mess with it. Okay? Or the Saturnalia, which is their Christmas, they December 25th. All right? Or the birth or the coronation day of a heathen emperor. Because they celebrated, remember, they wanted to be set up as God. They wanted to be worshiped as a God. For example, give me 2nd Maccabees. Six. Start at verse 1.
2 Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 1. Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers.
To compel us to do what?
To depart from the laws of their fathers.
The whole purpose for this was so that we would depart from the laws of our fathers. They didn't want us keeping God's laws. So they did it. They did anything in their power. These nations, first and foremost Esau, did everything in their power to keep us from keeping God's laws. Read.
And not to live after the laws of God.
What? Read it again.
And not to live after the laws of God.
That was the whole purpose. Read on.
And to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem.
And to pollute our temple. Read.
And to call it the temple of Jupiter Olympus.
That's your Zeus. That's your Tammuz. Okay. Your Hercules. Jupiter Olympus. Go ahead.
And that in Gerizim of Jupiter, the defender of strangers.
The defender of who?
The defender of strangers.
The defender of who?
Of strangers.
Jupiter, Zeus, is the defender of strangers, meaning the other nations. That was their God. Go ahead.
As they did desire that dwelt in the place. The coming in of this mischief was sore and grievous to the people.
Jump down to 6.
Verse 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
So remember, this is going to happen again. All right. So neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days. There's gonna come a time where they're gonna check on us. They're gonna do another inquisition to see if we keeping the Sabbath days. Go ahead.
Or ancient feasts.
Or any ancient feast. Go ahead.
Or
it's gonna be a law. They're gonna make it a mandate. Right? It's going to become a decree like it was during the Spanish Inquisition. Like it was during this time. Go ahead.
Or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
Oh, we're not going to be able to profess ourselves to be an Israelite. Go ahead.
And in the day of the king's birth every month.
So you see that now verse 7. Remember it says that the birth or the coronation day of a heathen emperor was strictly forbidden. Read.
And in the day of the king's birth every month.
You see that? In the day of the king's birth every month. Go ahead.
They were brought by bitter constraint.
We were brought by bitter constraint. We was forced. Read.
To eat of the sacrifices. And when the feast of Bacchus was kept, the Jews were compelled to go in procession to Bacchus carrying ivy.
Right. So we were forced to do these things. We were forced. Go ahead.
Moreover, there went out a decree to the neighboring cities of the heathen by the suggestion of Ptolemy against the Jews that they should observe the same fashions and be partakers of their sacrifices.
Right. So during this time, read verse 9.
And whoso would not conform themselves to the matters of the Gentiles should be put to death.
How would they have known that? It had to be an inquisition. This is like a Greek inquisition. Read.
Then might a man have seen the present misery.
Where is it at where it said they burnt out? I think that's in 1st Maccabees where they burnt our Bibles.
Yes, sir.
Let me see. Verse 50. or second first Maccabees. Yeah, read that.
First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 56.
Mm-hmm.
And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law, which they found.
How they found it? It had to have been an inquisition. It had to have been an inquisition. How would they have found the books? How would they have found our records? How would they have found our Bible? How would they have found us with it? It had to have been an inquisition during this time also. Remember, the Lord's judgment is like a ring. It goes around and around. This happened during this time period. It happened during the Spanish Inquisition, and it's going to happen again. Read it again.
And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law which they found, they burnt them with fire. And wheresoever was found with any the book of the testament.
So there you go. Whosoever was found with it, because they was going through our houses. They was doing the Inquisition. Read.
And wheresoever was found with any the book of the testament, or if any consented to the law,
read.
The king's commandment was that they should put him to death.
You see that? Oh, he got fringes on. Oh shoot. Oh, he's still keeping the Sabbath. Oh, they still celebrating. Oh, you don't eat pork? They watching our every move. Our every move. Okay, during this time period, Spanish Inquisition, and it's gonna happen again. All right, so drop that now. Yeah, go back to the book. You can drop the book. Get me the article now. Watch this. I want to show you something. I want to show you what happened to us on New Year's Day. New Year's Day. Now we bringing it up to slavery. Slavery. Read that.
The slaves dread New Year's Day the worst.
Read it again.
The slaves dread New Year's Day the worst.
We always dreaded New Year's Day. We always dreaded New Year's Day. It was not a happy day. Our ancestors knew that wasn't a happy day. Now we willingly celebrating, going to parties. You know, there's even a dinner that we usually listen. I know Judah usually they have black eyed peas. Yeah, black eyed peas, chitlins, collard greens, all abominable foods on this day. They like, oh, I hope you got them black eyed peas. I forgot, it was supposed to represent something. I don't know what it was, but it was. Oh, to eat black eyed peas? Oh, no, yeah, but on that day, I know there's certain foods, you know, like things. I know it's something with the black. I don't know with the black eyed peas, but anyway. All right, so he's saying on Emancipation Proclamation, that's when, but it's gonna say it here. But we dreaded that day. But now, what I'm saying today, we willingly love this day. So, before you give me 2 Maccabees 4 and 12. Oh, all praises. All praises. Read that.
Why it matters.
That's my brother right there.
Black eyed peas.
Why it matters. Read.
Black eyed peas symbolize new beginnings.
How? How? I knew something. I knew something. The black eyed peas. Like yo, my mom's though. Y'all got the black eyed peas. Do y'all got them? I hope y'all got them black eyed peas. It's the New Year's. It was something with black eyed peas. I couldn't put it. I couldn't fathom what it was with black eyed peas during the so-called New Year. I'm like, all right, but I went with it. We all went with it. Man, read on.
There's even a superstition that eating them ensures good luck for every day of the year ahead.
You see this? Just eating some food. I can't enjoy it. I knew I wasn't bugging. I knew in the world, I knew it was something with Judah had something with black eyed peas on New Year's. We was always eating black eyed peas. We had to have it on New Year's Day, man. Read it from the top again. This is wild.
Why it matters.
Why it matter? Why black eyed peas matter on New Year's? A can of black eyed peas. Read.
Black eyed peas symbolize new beginnings.
I never knew that. Wait, Officer Man, you knew that the whole time in the world? I never knew that. It symbolized new beginnings. Going back to Janus. I still can't, I don't know why, but go ahead.
There's even a superstition that eating them ensures good luck for every day of the year ahead.
Damn, so I gotta just eat. And go ahead, read on.
Pair them with collard greens.
Remember, I told you, I said, yo, something with black-eyed peas and collard greens. Representing what?
Representing money.
Read.
And cornbread
Bread
for gold.
Yo, this don't make sense.
This is war.
This don't make sense. Our people crazy. Traditions of men. Read on.
And you've got a full plate of hope.
You had to have these three things on that plate. If you didn't have it, yo, you was out in the world, you was out the spirit of Satan. You was out the spirit of Satan if you didn't have these three things on your plate, man. Wow. Hey, click on. No, that's good. You dropped that. Wow. All praises. I didn't know that. I knew in the world we had to be on there. All right, but watch this. Give me 2 Maccabees. 2 Mac 4. 4 and 15. I just want 4:15. Matter of fact, let me see. 2 Maccabees chapter 4. You start at verse 13.
2 Maccabees chapter 4 verse 13.
Read.
Now such was the height of Greek fashions, an increase of heathenish manners.
So such was the height of Greek. So remember we read 2 Mac chapter 6 where we were being forced to do these things, right? And we're gonna bring that out. But now we reading how we willingly wanted to do these things, even to today. Go ahead.
An increase of heathenish manners through the exceeding profaneness of Jason, that ungodly wretch and no high priest.
Wicked as hell. Go ahead. And he bribed his way to become a high priest. Go ahead.
That the priest had
he paid to become the high priest. He paid for that thing. He underhandedly paid to become the high priest. Go ahead.
That the priest had no courage to serve any more at the altar.
And he the one that brought in the Greekish fashion to our land. He brought that to us. Okay, wicked as hell. Go ahead.
But despising the temple and neglecting the sacrifices, hasten to be partakers of the unlawful allowance in the place of exercise, after the game of discus called them forth.
Right. After the game of discus, this is what you discus is what you throw in the Olympics. Go ahead.
Not setting by the honors of their fathers, but likening the glory of the Grecians best of all.
That's what we like, the glory of the Grecians best of all. We like the glory of Esau best of all. Better than our holidays. That's what we like. We like celebrating New Year's, so-called New Year's, in the dead of winter, best of all today, than to celebrate our high holy days. Okay? So it says, not setting by the honors of their fathers by liking the glory of the Grecians, the so-called white man, best of all. Want to look like them, be like them, celebrate their traditions and so forth. All right? Now, from there, give me that article real quick.
The slaves dread New Year's Day the worst.
So we dreaded New Year's Day the worst when we was enslaved. Go ahead.
The grim history.
Chattel slavery. Go ahead.
The grim history of January 1st.
Read. Now, watch this.
Americans are likely to think of New Year's Eve and New Year's Day as a time to celebrate the fresh start that a new year represents.
Right. The god Janus. Ending of endings and beginnings, right? New Year's resolution.
But there is also a troubling side to the holiday's history
that we seldom know about, right? Read.
In the years before the Civil War, the first day of the new year was often heartbreaking one for enslaved people in the United States.
Read that part again.
In the years before the Civil War, the first day of the new year was often a heartbreaking one for enslaved people in the United States. In the African American community, New Year's Day used to be widely known as Hiring Day or Heartbreak Day.
We called it Heartbreak Day. We called it Heartbreak. We still should be calling it a Heartbreak Day because we don't know this history. Read it from the top again.
In the African American community, New Year's Day used to be widely known as Hiring Day.
So it was called, this is on the first day of the so-called New Year. This is January the 1st. It was called Hiring Day. Read.
Or Heartbreak Day.
Or Heartbreak Day. Read on. Why?
As the African American abolitionist journalist William Cooper Neal described it.
Read.
Because enslaved people spent New Year's Eve waiting, wondering if their owners were going to rent them out to someone else.
Read.
Thus potentially splitting up their families.
New Year's, it was Heartbreak Day or Hiring Day because we would be separated from our families. And we knew once January 1st came, we going on an auction block to be rented out or separated from our loved ones. Read on.
The renting out of slave labor was a relatively common practice in the antebellum South and a profitable practice for white slave owners and hirers.
Right. Give me Deuteronomy 28. Telling the curses, man. 28 and 32 first.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Right. Read it again.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Thy sons and daughters shall be given to another people. Read.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
Separated from your family. Read verse 41.
Verse 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them.
Why?
For they shall go into captivity.
Right. We will beget sons and daughters, but we wouldn't enjoy them because why? Read it again.
But thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity.
For they shall go into captivity. All right. Now, go back. Go back. Go back to the point. Yep. And then read down. Read that paragraph again and read down and then we go hop out of that.
In the African American community, New Year's Day used to be widely known as Hiring Day or Heartbreak Day, as the African American abolitionist journalist William Cooper Neal described it, because enslaved people spent New Year's Eve waiting, wondering if their owners were going to rent them out to someone else.
Right, read.
Thus potentially splitting up their families. The renting out of slave labor was a relatively common practice in the antebellum South and a profitable practice for white slave owners and hirers.
Read on.
Hiring Day was part of the larger economic cycle in which most debts were collected and settled on New Year's Day.
Read.
Says Alexis McCrossan, an expert on the history of New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and a professor of history of Southern Methodist University, who writes about Hiring Day in her forthcoming book, Time's Touchstone, The New Year in American Life.
Watch this.
Some enslaved people were put up for auction that day.
Right. Read it again.
Some enslaved people were put up for auction that day.
On January 1st, the so-called New Year's Day, we were put up for auction, ready to be sold or hired out, split up from our families. Read.
Or held under contracts that started in January.
So there was no ifs, ands, or buts. It's like, yo, we knew, damn, here come January 1st. It's time to be sold. So you already like, damn, we 2 days, we a day out. You already you with your family because you don't know what's about to happen to you on that day. You don't know if you about to be sold. You don't know if your wife about to be sold. You don't know if your children about to be sold or hired out. You don't know. So it's called Heartbreak Day. Go ahead.
These transactions also took place all year long, and contracts could last for different amounts of time. These deals were conducted privately among families, friends, and business contacts. And slaves were handed over in town squares.
And where? And where?
And slaves were handed over in town squares,
Uh-huh.
on courthouse steps,
Uh-huh.
and sometimes simply on the side of the road.
Damn. They didn't give a damn on the side. On the side of the road. You on the highway being sold. Go down. Let me see if I want anything else out of here. Let me see. Yep. Come on.
Accounts of the cruelty of hiring day come from records left by those who secured their freedom, who describe spending the day before January 1st hoping and praying
Go ahead.
that their hirers would be humane.
Would have some type of sympathy, compassion. All right, go ahead.
Would be humane, and that their families could stay together.
Not be separated. The curses. Read.
Of all days in the year,
Of all the days in the year.
the
Read.
slaves dread New Year's Day, the worst of any.
You see that? Now we willingly love this day. Can't make this up. We willingly love New Year's Day, so-called New Year's Day. Okay? Go ahead. But we had sense back then. We had sense back then as slaves. All right? Read on. Read that part again.
Of all days in the year, the slaves dread New Year's Day, the worst of any.
Read.
A slave named Lewis Clark said in an 1842 account.
So this is an account of a slave. He said, "Yo, of all the days in the year, this is what we dread the most: New Year's Day." This is our ancestors telling us this. Go ahead.
On New Year's Day, we went to the auctioneer's block.
Damn. Read.
To be hired to the
highest-
highest bidder for 1 year.
Read.
Israel Campbell wrote in a memoir published in 1861 in Philadelphia, in which he describes being hired out 3 times.
Wait, where does this happen at?
In Philadelphia.
In Philly. In Philly, he describing himself being hired out 3 times on New Year's Day. Read.
That's where that saying comes from, that what you do on New Year's Day, you'll be doing all the rest of the year.
Damn, haven't we heard that before? So however you start your, how we say it today, however you start your New Year's off is how you're going to end up the rest of the year. That's where it come from, slavery. Read on, and then we're going to drop that.
A former slave known as Sister Harrison said in an interview in 1937.
Can't make this up, man. Hey, there's an article. Officer Phineas just sent me this, or text me this. Shout out to Officer Phineas. There was a deadly attack. Look this up in New Orleans. Look that up. There's a deadly attack. Got a couple more scriptures. Yep, read that.
At least 15 killed in New Orleans after driver intentionally
Yeah, go ahead.
rams into crowd on Bourbon Street.
Yo, he straight up. He killed 50. He had to be going at some high behind speeds. This happened on your so-called New Year's. Because it's evil. New Year's is a spirit of Satan on that thing. Okay? Got nothing to do with New Year's is not in the Bible. So-called New Year's is not in the Bible. There's no way they say celebrate the New Year on January the 1st. It's not there. You're not going to see it. Read that.
What we covered here,
At least 15.
at least 15 people were killed and dozens injured when a driver rammed a pickup truck into a crowd during New Year's celebrations.
God damn, he had a pickup truck. He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna hurt them on this one." Go ahead.
On Bourbon Street in New Orleans early on Wednesday morning. The FBI is investigating it as an act of terrorism.
You see that? So this dude killed 15 with a pickup truck on your so-called New Year's, because it's evil. It's evil. All right. All right, so from there. So when do our new year begin? Get me Exodus 12 and 2. Couple more scriptures. Exodus 12 and 2. Let me see. Read that.
Exodus chapter 12 and verse 2.
Hold on, let me see. Get Deuteronomy 16 first. 16 and 1.
Deuteronomy chapter 16 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Observe the month of Abib.
So observe the month of Abib. Read.
And keep the Passover unto the Lord thy God.
So observe the month of Abib and keep the Passover unto the Lord thy God. Read on.
For in the month of Abib,
Read.
the Lord thy God brought thee forth out of Egypt by night.
The month of Abib. Put that up. Read that, Abib. So this is from the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Read that.
Abib, an ear of corn,
Mm-hmm.
the pre-exilic name for the first month of the year.
Read it again.
The pre-exilic name, exilic name for the first month of the year.
Read it again.
The pre-exilic name for the first month of the year.
Abib is the pre-exilic name for the first month of the year. So when is that? Read on.
After the exile, the name was changed to Nisan.
Mm-hmm.
It fell about the time of our March and early April.
Abib fell about the time of March or early April. What season is that? Spring. That's your spring. That's when life begins. Which makes sense. That's when the trees are blossom. Okay, that's when life begins. Springtime. That's when everything starts to come back to life. That's when the animals even know to come back out during that time. The animals got sense. But yet we want to celebrate the New Year's in the dead of winter when there's no leaves on the trees. There's nothing happening. There's snow out. It's cold as hell. Okay. So it says the month of Abib, the pre-exilic name for the first month of the year. After the exile, the name was changed to Nisan. It fell about the time of our March and early April. Why is it saying that? Because it falls around the time of the new moon. The new moon dictates our months. All right? So when we see that new moon, that's when we understood, okay, this is the beginning of our year. Between March and early April. All right? Now, give me Exodus 12.
Exodus chapter 12 and verse...
When the moon is full. When the moon is full. When you can see it. Now, go give me Exodus 12 and 2.
Exodus chapter 12 verse 2.
Remember the month of Abib. Go ahead.
This month shall be unto you the beginning of months.
Read it again.
This month shall be unto you the beginnings of months.
Read it again.
This month shall be unto you the beginning of months.
The month of Abib, between March, early April, when you see that new moon, shall be, read it again.
This month shall be unto you the beginning of months.
The beginning of your new year. The beginning of our new year is the month of Abib, between March and early April. Springtime, not the dead of winter. All right? Remember, it says that he opposed of everything that is called God. They thought to change times and laws. All right? Hey, so that's my time. Should I get into it? Nah, I'll do that on the next one. All right, so, hey, that's my time. So hopefully I gleaned something from the class. Hey, stop celebrating that so-called New Year's. All right, repent. All right. All right, so, Officer Jazz, History in the AM. So, shalom, Most High in Christ bless.